For me, glad. I feel intimidated every time I meet a couple that are in open relationship and they wanna they wanna try something with a different girl. I'll find it very scary. What makes that scary for you? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be in a bad situation. That's how I feel. Do you feel guilty towards the girl, or was it like not really like guilty? It's more of like shame, like sense, yeah, to do it, yeah. And I think that's very normal. I think a lot of, because I feel like human as we are, we're born curious. We're naturally curious, but because of some programming beliefs that was passed along, may it be from parents, from religion, from society, we are taught that sex is that. You know, when we grow up, the first thing that we understand about sex is that, oh, it's bad, oh, it's shameful, oh, it's dirty. Yeah. And I guess that's also one of the reasons why I really try to debunk that by even being in an open relationship and living that kind of lifestyle, because I just want to, like remove that myth or challenge that stigma around sex. Because again, as I've said multiple times in my channel, we are born in sex. Yeah. Why are we shaming it? Why do we find it dirty? When we engage in sex in a conscious way, it brings so much pleasure within us. It allows us to connect with our partner. And if that's also a way for you to connect with other people, like, why not? Why shame it? As long as you don't harm each other. How do you handle jealousy when your partner dates or sleeps with someone else? Yeah, and even in an open relationship, you can't stay away from that. There's always going to be jealousy. And mostly when I get jealous, I realize it really comes from a place of insecurity. I feel insecure. And insecurity means I see something in you that I feel like I don't have. So if Eli seems to be spending time with this woman and usually, okay, let me just give an example, which is just recent. Like Eli and I were both very busy. And when he goes out to meet another woman, I notice that there's this feeling of jealousy. And when I really dig deeper, it's not because I'm jealous with a woman. Like the woman doesn't threaten me necessarily, but the jealousy comes from, I want that our time together is so limited because it's already been divided to work, to the kids, and to other stuff. And then we don't have, if that small amount of time will be shared with another people, then that's when I get jealous, because I feel like, I also want some time with you outside of work, outside of kids, but just the two of us. If that is not fulfilled yet, then I would feel like, you're taking that away from me to give it to another woman. But again, it's not about the woman. Yeah. Because if I feel like we've spent enough time together, we also want to distance ourselves, to give each other a breather of like, okay, we've spent enough time, so now let's try to give each other some space. And it could be a long time or meeting others as well. So yeah, those are the moment that I felt jealous lately. What about you, Amaya? What would be some of the common situation where you feel jealous? Yeah, I guess that's the same for you. If I feel like if that person, that girl has something that I don't have, it could be a better personality than me, more outgoing, more funnier. Not really more of physical, more of like, if she's more funnier than we were engaging, I can, yeah. That part, I feel like threatened, jealous. Yeah. Because a lot of women out there, like when there's this cheating going on, like the famous Coldplay thing. Oh yeah, my God, the wife is so much better and blah, blah, blah. Because sometimes it's not just the look. It's not most. It's not everything. It's not the look. Sometimes, and you, instead of just condemning the person of like, oh my God, how could you cheat on her or how could you cheat on him? It's really, why? What was the underlying reason? What was the need that hasn't been fulfilled and met that you have to outsource it with other people?
Yeah. Honestly, when I first saw that video, my thought is, why is he cheating? There's something wrong inside the relationship if he's cheating with someone like her.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes cheating is easier than actually sitting down and having that difficult conversation with your partner.
Yeah.
Because sure, we always say like, oh, it's really the communication, it's the conversation that it's important. But how do you communicate? What is an effective communication? And that's something that I've been really diving deep into because I realize, that's a foundation of everything. It's not just opening what you want to say to your partner or expressing to them, but how do you express it in a way that invites conversation instead of argument, which is a very tricky one.
Yeah, that's why some, they just want to cheat because it's easier to conceal everything.
But down the line, it will blow up. It's very.
But I think she also replace him very quickly. I think I saw a photo of her with a handsome black man.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
What do you do when emotional connections form with other people?
That happens. I prefer that. I noticed that, I chat with other guys as well. And when I start going deeper, asking questions, trying to get to know them, I notice that they feel uncomfortable. And then when I ask more questions, they're like, no, I think it's easier for me if like it's just all about sex and we can just, part ways after that. But I don't want. I prefer if there is emotional connection. And I think people are afraid of that because we tend to get attached to those emotions. We associate the emotion to the person. If the person made us feel good, like, oh my God, I will not be able to feel good with other people. It's just going to be you. But no, it's not really the person. You can probably still feel that amazing feeling with other people too. But most of us, we tend to get attached to those feelings. And I've experienced that, like even when 5 months with Eli, I've met a guy who really, I was blown away by the chemistry and the connection. It was like 10 out of 10, even better than the chemistry I had with Eli at the time. And I was worried of like, oh my God, what is this? And so I did my research. And I realized sometimes when you connect with someone, there is, chemistry that is being released, chemical that is being released in your brain. And it's just emotion. It goes up and it goes down. It doesn't mean that it's love necessarily. It could be just in love. And I'm not afraid of falling in love because it's such a beautiful feeling. Just don't get attached to it because it comes and goes.
Yeah.
And you just have to accept, okay, how I approach that is whenever I spend time with someone, I really try to be as present as possible and connect the best way I can. And then when we have to part ways, I just have to like leave it at that. Like, okay, I'm just grateful that I get to have that time with you. If we are able to have that again, amazing. If not, I'm still grateful. At least we had that experience. Just don't get attached.
I think that's very hard.
It is.
It's the hardest part, not to get attached. What are your hard rules or deal breakers in this setup?
Mm-hmm. I guess the deal breaker is being dishonest. And it's even hard because sometimes there are times that Eli would, because our recent agreement is that, okay, if you're planning to meet with someone before you make plans, check in with each other first. We even have like a framework, like, hey babe, I'm having this, like, what? when, what type of things. Like I've been chatting with this person, the conversation is really going well, and I think I'm thinking of meeting this person this day here in this place. Is that okay with you? And again, don't be attached to that. Because if the person says, oh, that doesn't work for me, I'm in a low emotional capacity. I need you right now. And the other person needs to be able to say like, okay, I respect you. I'm going to prioritize you. But it's also important that the other person who says like, oh no, it's not coming from a place of like, no, I just don't want that.
Yeah.
It's really just, you need to make sure that you're not spiting each other. You're just being honest and real about how you're feeling in that moment. So if it's being broken, because it happens as well where I would be busy and Eli just happens to be in a moment where, the other person is available. So I know time to communicate with me. That's fine as long as you also tell me afterwards and be prepared if I will be telling you like, oh, you did that, but why didn't you tell me first? Just be prepared to explain, but not necessarily defending yourself. Like be able to like, oh, I apologize. I should have expressed this, but it's just the timing of things. So again, be able to have those kind of difficult conversation in a way that you're not blaming or pointing finger, but just still trying to understand. We're here as a team, so let's try to figure it out. What went well, what didn't go well, what could we learn, what could we improve in our next conversation next time. So it's very hard. Yeah. And yeah, the conversation is hard. So we just have one of our values is leaning in to scary stuff. And most of the scary stuff is a conversation. I'm grateful that we decided to open up our relationship because the best part that I was able to get out from it is not the sex. It's not the crazy sexcapade that we have. It's really the learning and being able to build that ability of not shying away from whatever conversation that you have. Because it's been useful in my other relationship too, in business and, communicating with my team, working with other people, like pitching something to a client. It really helped building that skill. So yeah.
That's nice. Cute. Learning a lot of things from other people. Yeah.
Like there are things that I will not be able to get from Eli that I can only get from other people. Like me and Eli were very good at holding, emotional space for each other, like being tuned in, attentive listening. But our struggle is like just having fun or like laughing. We can't. And then just like your insecurity, it made me feel insecure when there's another woman who can just banter with Eli in a sarcastic way, in a playful way, because it's just eyes on the right, Daddy. I'm not humorous. It's an action and more serious. So yeah. But then instead of me feeling jealous when that happens, I'm like, oh wow, I'm glad that, Eli is able to have that time with that woman that can make her laugh. And now when Eli and I connect, she's in a good mood because he just laughs so much. So now we can just be in that good energy with each other.
Do you think open relationships are more common with foreign partners than fellow Filipinos?
Based on my experience, probably yes, just because I've met more either both foreigners who are in an open relationship or foreigner Filipina in an open relationship. But it doesn't mean that it's a guy who because in my case, I was the one who suggested an open relationship. So yeah, I think it's
more common than foreigners. Yeah. I think it's because Filipinos are, raised conservative.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe there are people out there, it's just not public. Because again, there will be a public scripted, right? You expose that.
It will be shame here.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it.
Good for you. You already embraced the assured part. Because I don't want to hide something that is me. Like whatever you see in front, how I talk in front of the camera, how I talk with Eli, how I talk with other people is the same person. And I think what I'm kind of working on right now is how I talk to myself. I'm being very kind and open with other people and understanding. But sometimes when it comes to me, I still have this very critical side of me. So that's the part that I'm working on. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I tend to I have a bad self-talk. It's a struggle. But I have noticed that talking to yourself in the mirror, like just saying how beautiful you are every morning and like you're amazing, you did that, you did this, it kind of like help a lot with my confidence.
That's very good. I love that you're doing that practice.
Yeah. I've been doing it for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, cool. Visitor. Nice.
It's so amazing. It just boosts your mood, your confidence, that way you see yourself like, because when I was like in my 20s, I don't see myself as beautiful or smart or anything interesting at all. And that is something that I've been always working since I'm in my 20s. And now that I'm in my 30s, I reflect. Your 30s? You say you're not humorous, huh? But seriously, now that I'm in my 30s, I have come so far that I don't recognize myself. I'm totally different from that person.
That's very good. You'd evolve into something better, more loving towards you. And I think the most important relationship that we could have is our self-relationship. And it really builds the rest of the relationship as well that we have. Because even how much praise, compliments other people will tell you, if you yourself will like reject it, it will, It's so, I'm not far in the journey. I just started last year. I was started last year as well when I realized like, wow, I really have a hard time letting go when I feel like I did something wrong or I fucked up or I perform in a way that is not satisfying for me. I feel like, oh, I could have done better. And I would beat myself up. And even Eli would always tell me like, it was not that big of a deal. It's okay. Or like, I forgive you. Can you forgive yourself so we can both move on? So yeah, that was a challenge.
Yeah.
How did it feel now that you're working on that relationship?
I feel more secure about myself.
It's beautiful.
And I don't beg for love. I mean, if there's love, I would accept it. And because before, the old me is someone that would like try to chase someone to get that attention, that love. But now if I don't get that love from that person, I will let you go. Because I have more love. I have enough love for myself. And if you're not willing to share your love to me, I can't share my love to you too. I mean, I will share my love to you, but I will not share my time to you.
Exactly. So see, from that developing your self-relationship, your self-confidence get boosted. And then your self-worth is also increasing. Yeah. So that's beautiful.
And sometimes we became very ungrateful. We beat ourselves because we are very ungrateful. Like for example, in a day-to-day basis, you have tasks that you didn't do it or you didn't make it, and you beat yourself like, oh, I'm so lazy or I'm so unproductive today. But we forget that the things that we have done before to be in this position.
Exactly.
Like there was this moment yesterday that I was driving my motorbike and I was thinking about my younger self, her dreams. My dream before, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, is to be someone like our neighbor. She's a single mom and she has a motorbike and she dressed nicely and she's sexy and like she's independent and beautiful and she got business. And I was like, I want to be like her when I was a kid. And I became, you're living your dream, Maya. Yes. Sometimes we forget that we are living our dreams.
Exactly. That's very humbling and it's such a good reflection, like, some point. And that also shows the hedonistic adaptation of human, which means, when you're already in a position, like, this is your dream, but when you live it, you want more. Yeah. That's so true. We become ungrateful of things.
I think it's because most people, when their lifestyle became higher, I mean their salary or their financial income get higher, they had to like make their lifestyle also improve their lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them do, and yeah, that's a good reminder, Maya, of just remember what was your dream and realizing that you're already living it, and if you're not living it yet, you're working towards it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I have one last question to you before we end this vlog. What advice would you give to Filipinas who are curious about open relationships?
It's a good question. I think first, just really, it's always good to be curious. Like, I think they would say curiosity kills the cat, but just trust yourself, trust your instinct as well. You will actually know. Don't be too naive and gullible. Do a little bit of background first. If there's someone, or let's say a couple, that will tell you like, hey, we're open and we want to explore experience with you. Like, if you want to do that, just first meet in a coffee shop, and just try to talk. And as much as possible, talk with both couples. I think if they're open, it's much better to just talk with the wife, the girlfriend, both of them, so you can really get to know them. And also know your boundaries. Because sometimes, and I feel worried with this, there are girls that we would meet that they're just so innocent. Like, oh my God. But still brave enough to like meet me and Eli. But they're also just like, up to you guys, like this kind of thing. So please make sure that you know your boundaries and don't hesitate to communicate it. Like, and don't feel obligated to like say yes.
Yeah.
If they want something. If you don't feel comfortable, just say no. Don't be too afraid to the point that you'll not try it out. Like, if you have the curiosity, go out there, meet people, and just be mindful.
Yeah.
Open coffee shop, ask questions, set boundaries. That's it.
Do you recommend if you're like for a first timer to ask for medical certificates, tests, laboratories, things like this?
I think it would be, is it required if you're already thinking like, okay, let's do it. Because if you ask that in the first time, that already, what do you call that? That already kind of elude that you want to have sex.
Yeah.
That's so if you're curious and if you're open already to have, to have an intimate time with people who are in an open relationship, if you want to be sure, then you can ask for. I don't think I've had that before. Being asked like, hey, can you take a test? And even one guy who, the first polyamorous couple that I dated, like, we went together. We had to take a test. So just don't be embarrassed about it. And I think that's important too. Or make sure to use condom for protection.
Yeah. I have one last question actually. Sorry. What can you advise to the foreigners who are looking for an open relationship? Where do you think they should start looking?
That's a very tricky question because I feel like first is you got to have the intention. Set the intention, put it out to the universe, and actually trust that that person exists. If you're someone who wants to have a relationship with someone who's open and willing enough to try an open relationship with you, set that intention. And if you are in a dating app, you can even just put that, hey, or no, I didn't put that on my end. I just had my intention. And because again, what you focus on expand. If you put your focus there, you'll automatically be, you'll have that vibe in you. You'll attract those kind of people. So it doesn't matter if it's in a dating app, but at least you have to be out there.
Yeah.
Maybe you're out there in a dating app, or you're out there outside in an event, meeting people like that. And you just vibe. Don't go straight like, hey, are you open for... Just ask some question to really test out their openness. Like, oh, like, are you single? What do you think? Are you in a place where you like meeting people, or are you more into serious relationship? Blah blah blah. Like, just start slow. Start with a question that eventually give you the data point of, is this person curious? Is this person open to trying new things, or is this person rigid and just like close-minded? Because even if the person haven't had any open relationship experience, and you're open enough, and if they're curious enough, then you could probably like have that conversation with them, and then it will tickle their curiosity and try it out.
Thank you so much, Gladys, for being here in my channel, and thank you for your very insightful answers. And guys, if you haven't checked out Gladys' channel and you want to learn more about sexuality, relationships, check it out. I'll see you there. Check out Gladys' channel. I will link her channel in the description down below. Thank you for being here, and for being here in your house. Thank you, Maya, for being here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys again soon. Paalam!